His rocket company was failing. His electric car company was running out of money. Think about that for a second. It's 2008. Banks are completely refusing to help, outside investors have lost all their confidence, his marriage is collapsing, and a lot of people are looking at him thinking he's just going to become another classic Silicon Valley failure story. We are kicking off this explainer today right in this absolute darkest hour, right on the precipice of losing everything.
The spark of revolution, Elon Musk and the Tesla origin. You know, to truly understand the sheer magnitude of what was built, you have to look closely at the mechanics of Tesla's survival. Because just a few short years after that brutal 2008 moment, a global revolution in transportation was sparked. We're going to explore exactly how a struggling, cash-strapped startup transformed into the world's most valuable electric vehicle company.
Part 1. Early Internet Success and Building Zip2.
So let's flash back to 1995. Long before rockets or electric cars, Musk and his brother Kimball started an online directory called Zip2. They built this on a foundational belief that the internet was going to change absolutely everything. Fast forward 4 years, computer manufacturer Compaq acquires the company, and Musk personally earns $22 million. Now, the typical move here is to retire to a beach or play it incredibly safe, right? Instead, this establishes a lifelong behavioral pattern for him, taking an entire fortune and aggressively re-risking it on a new, far more ambitious venture.
Part 2. The PayPal fortune and revolutionizing digital banking. That next big venture was X.com. It aimed at the seemingly impossible goal of replacing traditional banks by allowing people to send money online instantly. That entity eventually merged and became PayPal. In 2002, eBay buys PayPal for $1.5 billion, netting Musk around $180 million before taxes. Rather than diversifying or securing his wealth, he takes this incredible fortune and makes the ultimate contrarian bet. He channels nearly all of it into 3 industries that the experts consider total financial suicide: space, renewable energy, and electric cars.
Part 3. Tesla Motors is born, a bold new vision.
In July 2003, engineers Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning quietly founded Tesla. You have to remember, at the time, the reality of electric vehicles was just grim. They were known for short ranges, slow speeds, and terrible design. Essentially, they were glorified golf carts. Because of this, major automakers had entirely abandoned them. But Eberhard and Tarpenning had a completely different vision. They wanted to build a high-performance machine that proved EVs could actually be fundamentally superior to gas cars in every single metric. They had the vision, for sure, but there was an unavoidable roadblock. They desperately needed cash. In early 2004, Musk meets with the founders and sees something the broader market completely missed. He recognized this wasn't just a niche car startup, it was the beginning of a massive platform shift in global energy and transportation. So he steps in, investing $6.5 million into their Series A round, becoming the largest shareholder and chairman. From that exact moment, the company's trajectory completely shifted.
Part 4. Building the Impossible, the Roadster Project.
Tesla made a critical strategic decision really early on. Their first vehicle wouldn't be some cheap mass-market family car, but a high-performance sports car meant to force the entire industry to take them seriously. But executing this was bordering on impossible. The lithium-ion battery technology barely existed in a usable form for cars. Under immense stress, the motors constantly failed, and because of these cascading engineering hurdles, costs just kept skyrocketing and deadlines continuously slipped. Every time they found a solution, it seemed to spawn new problems. Yet, the team held on to the belief that if they could just put one incredible electric sports car on the road, the world's perception would irreversibly shift.
But of course, when millions of dollars are vanishing way faster than anyone modeled, and the engineering simply isn't working, the pressure cooker eventually blows. Internal trouble began brewing heavily. The original founders and Musk clashed over budgets, fought over schedules, and fundamentally disagreed on strategy. The engineering delays were causing development costs to completely explode. The Roadster was fast becoming one of the most difficult, cash-intensive automotive projects ever attempted in modern history.
Part 5. The 2008 Crisis and the Brink of Collapse.
By 2008, Tesla had spent years trying to develop just a single car. Capital was disappearing at an alarming rate, and production delays were still paralyzing the factory. On top of these internal nightmares, the macro environment completely collapsed. The global financial crisis hit, credit froze, and the global economy melted down. Nervous investors and outside media were all asking the exact same heavy question: can Tesla actually survive? They were coming within mere weeks of total bankruptcy.
To be continued. In our next explainer, we'll dive into how Musk risked his final remaining fortune on one last desperate gamble to save the company. It leaves us with a pretty critical thought to chew on. Is the line between a visionary and a failure defined by pure intelligence, or is it simply an irrational willingness to lose absolutely everything?